let's speak to a legal analyst now on what will be happening, as it has also emerged today that Advocate Zandile Mshololo as well as Advocate Mpofu will be representing Thabo Bester. Mshololo is currently engaged with the matter of 5 men accused in the Senzo murder trial, representing accused number 5. Legal analyst Melusi Xulu joins us for more on this. Melusi, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Perhaps we can replay that clip of the state making known its intention that they're going to be withdrawing charges against 3 of the accused. And if we could look out for the second person standing next to the lady there who's in white clothing. Are we able to bring up that bite, please? Okay, Melusi Xulu, unfortunately, we will get that bite a little bit later on, but you would have noticed as the state was mentioning that they are withdrawing the charges against 3 of the accused. There's a gentleman in the middle who's wearing white. His face sort of changed. What does this indicate, right? Not necessarily his facial expression, but the fact that the state has withdrawn these charges, but there's no reasons that have been given. What options are available to those 3 people? Could we possibly see the state being sued?
Okay. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. Well, the reason for withdrawing a criminal case against an accused, if I were a prosecutor, it would be due to the reason that there's insufficient evidence to prosecute them. I will be specific with Ms. Jansen. Remember, she was working on the day, but when allegedly, when Thabo Bester passed her, she could not know whether it's him or not. It's unlikely that she was involved, and they probably looked at her bank statement. They could not find any payments to show that she was bribed to allow Thabo Bester to pass. So although I don't have the facts for the other 2. So what it means is they don't have sufficient evidence when they look at, whether they proceed or proceed against them or not. Now, the second question is, what are their options in terms of suing? If you were unlawfully arrested, you have the right to sue the police for that. So that will be the options that they might have with their attorneys. But at the moment, we do not know what they will do. But I assume that the reason for the withdrawal is because there's no strong case against the 3.
What should we understand about a pre-trial conference? And given the speed at which this case is moving, does it come as a surprise that we are already at pre-trial conference level? What is that?
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised that the investigation is happening faster. Remember that the prosecutor that was involved is actually a senior prosecutor, was a chief prosecutor. So I think with him working on the case, it shows how serious the NPA team in Bloemfontein is taking, or in Free State rather, how serious they're taking the case. But what is a pre-trial conference? As it says, it's a pre-trial, so it's just before the trial, it's just before the case is tried. It means that, they will look at all the issues that they need to look at. They will see that they ensure that the defense have the docket copies. They will ensure that everything is ready for the trial. And one of the most important issues is they will also look at the fact that the defense has been, paid the legal fees that might be due to them, and they've agreed with that they will be paid. The reason why I want to emphasize on the legal fees is because sometimes it happens that, they will say that the fees are there, but when the trial is about to start, then the attorneys will say they have not been paid, and then there will be further delays. So the importance of the pre-trial is to ensure that there are no delays. Everyone is ready. Everyone that needs to be paid, there's been agreement, or there's been payment for the attorneys, and all the documents that the defense needs to have to prepare for trial, they are with them. Then after that, they will set down trial dates. Maybe they will say, because it's in early next year, in January, they will say the dates for the trial will be probably in May for the whole month, something of that nature.
Ah, okay. So typically it would be quite soon after the pre-trial date or the pre-trial conference that the trial actually gets underway. So we could see the trial get underway early 2024?
Yes, I see the trial happening early 2024, and I believe that, the NPA in Free State, they are really prioritizing this case. It's a high-profile case, and it kind of showed some loophole when it comes to, how prisoners are guarded allegedly because Thabo Bester escaped. So they want to make sure that they restore the trust that is in the criminal justice system from an NPA perspective. So I think it will happen soon, and we will see how sooner that is. But I predict that between May and August, there will be some action happening.
I do beg your pardon, because the matter has been transferred to Court 1 at the Bloemfontein High Court on the 21st of February and not January 2024. Then we take a look at the fact that Thabo Bester made it known that he will be represented by Advocate Mshololo, who is representing accused number 5 in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, as well as Advocate Dali Mpofu. Is that unusual?
Well, we've seen high-profile cases. I will mention the former president cases. Mr. Zuma, he has a dream team of his own, and if you afford to pay, 2 high-profile lawyers at the same time or 3, you can obviously have that, and you will have your own dream team. It reminds me of the O.J. Simpson legal team, where they call it team. So he's having his own dream team as well, and it's very interesting because when you look at the case, prima facie, he has no defense, but we wonder what he will have. There will be enough time from October to February to really know what his case is, because the reason why I think he wants to have, a dream team, remember the first advocate he had, or one of the first lawyers he had, he asked in court and he said, why is my client arrested? So there's some technical, card that he's coming with, and I'm so interested to hear what that will be, because it looks like he's saying was not supposed to be arrested. He's not really Thabo Bester. Remember, his ID was made, or his birth certificate was made last year. Was it last year or this year? No, it was made this year. And, so I think there's some technical, strategy is coming with, and it needs maybe specialized criminal lawyers that he's hiring. So he's got his own dream team, and it will be interesting to hear what the plan will be.
Sure. Yeah, you mentioned the O.J. Simpson trial. The glove didn't fit, and they said if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. But having a dream team doesn't necessarily equate to you getting away with, maybe not getting away because that's a strong phrase, but does it necessarily guarantee freedom?
Yeah, no pun intended on the running away. But yes, I agree with you. It doesn't mean we win the case, but it just shows how serious Mr. Bester is taking the case, because he's getting the best lawyers that he can in the country. So it shows that he's really serious about his defense, because one would assume that, if your case is about escaping from prison and there's sufficient evidence, one would assume that one would plead guilty and, get it over and done. But it looks like it's going to be a fight. Like one person once, there was one person who said, South Africa is a movie. So this will be an interesting movie to watch.
Nandipha Makudumana allegedly is not feeling well, with her lawyer going as far as saying that she's on the floor in the holding cell. To your experience, I guess, from the work that you do, given that this matter is being transferred to the High Court, escalates, I guess, its seriousness. Is there anything that you are aware of, at least in terms of not feeling well?
I'm not aware of what really transpired with her sickness and so forth, but from time to time, accused do get sick. They do, have their own, health issues. So if that happened, and she probably did maybe get some medical assistance, but it's nothing that is, unnatural. Sometimes people do get sick, but I don't know whether she came back to court. I did not check whether it was postponed when she was there, but she will be really hopefully next year because the case is happening at a faster pace, and I'm seeing the trial, starting very soon, unless there are other issues that we are not aware of.
All right. Yeah, she did not come back to court. Thank you very much, Mr. Xulu, for your time this afternoon. Melusi Xulu is a legal analyst.